Looking at practice exercise 5.17 month apart, we're going to write a method named month apart, and it accepts 4 integer parameters representing 2 calendar dates. So each date is going to consist of a month, 1 through 12, and a day, 1 through 28 or 31, so through the number of days in the month. The method returns whether the dates are at least a month apart. We can assume all the dates in this problem occur during the same year. And then we're given some examples of this, also some examples up here. So let's type the solution up here. We know it's going to be a public, static. It's returning a true or false, so it's going to be of type Boolean. It's called monthApart. And then inside of here is taking 4 parameters. We have 4 integers, int1, int2, int3, and then int4. So these are parameters, and now we're going to be inside of here. Well, we want to check the difference, or at least this is how I'm going to go about it. I want to check the difference between the months and then the dates. So we're going to have int month, and it's equal to, well, we'll do the first one. So the first integer minus the next integer that represents the next month, so 1 and 3. Now let's look at the day. Int day is equal to, and then we're going to have 2 minus 4. So this is what we have here. So I have some comments. If month is not 0, we know they're at least a month apart. Now, if it is a negative, then the next month is bigger. If it's positive, the previous month is bigger. And we're going to go over this in a second, what that really means. I have some more comments also for the date. So putting this in here. If the day is 0, it's fine always. If the second month is bigger, this should be day, or yeah, if the second month is bigger, then the second date is bigger. If the first month is bigger, then the second date is smaller. So those are just some comments that we're going to look at. Now let's prove this. We know that this is month 1 and this is the next month. So let's look at the true and falses here. Well, if we have this month smaller than this month, and this month smaller than this month, and this month smaller than this month, and then also these days, this day, the first day, is smaller than the next day, this day is smaller than the next day, and this day is true, or the same, these are all going to be true. So let's account for this first part right here. We're going to be in our if statement here. We have if, and then we're going to write if our month is less than 0, so that's going to be for this first scenario right here, if this is bigger than this one, and we need to check the day. So we'll do and then inside of here we want R4 to be greater than, or at least equal to 0 for this right here for our day. So we're going to do day is less than or equal to 0. That's going to be our first if statement. Now we can have another one in here, right? We have something else we can check with these trues down here. So we can see if the first month is actually greater than 0, if we subtract them, it's going to result in a greater than. So let's expand this to have an or. So if our month is greater than 0, and now let's look at the day. We can see that for the day, let's not pay attention to these false. If it's the same, so if we subtract them at 0, it's fine. So if the day is going to be greater than or equal to 0, I say greater than or equal to because if we take 14 minus 15, which is how we have here, we're going to give a positive number, so that's how this would return. We are going to be inside of here as well. And if this is the case, we're just going to return true. Otherwise, we know we can return false. So we can have an else here, and then return false. So if none of these happens, we're going to return false. And I don't think it exactly likes the fact that there are no parentheses. So put some parentheses here. Oh, no, that shouldn't be the issue. The issue is that we don't have another mark right here to complete this if statement. So we need another parenthesis to complete this. And then we need to end this method. So we need this to connect with this up here. Now we passed 9 out of 10 tests. We can see that there's an issue with this one right here. We can see that it kind of contrasts with what we have here. We have 10, 14, 7, and 15. And what I said was this month is greater than this month, and then this day is greater than this day. Well, the problem here is of the month, right? So the day, it should be greater than or equal to. this is not greater than or equal to. If we have 14 minus 15, this is going to result in a negative number, right? 14 here minus the 15 here results in a negative 1. And I said it should be greater than or equal to 0. Well, what happens if we change this? If we change this, it's not going to pass this test, which this test should return false when it returns true. So the reason why we have this not working is because if they're more than just 1 month apart, it doesn't matter about the days, right? So let's also check for if they're more than this apart. So we'll have an or right here, where it will check the months. So it will either check this, or it will check this, or if our month is greater than 1, and I'll spell it correctly here, or if the month is less than, then we'll have -1 right here, then it doesn't matter and we can return true. So if we submit it, we'll pass 10 out of 10 tests, and that's going to be how we solve this practice it exercise 5.17, which is month apart, using this code right here.